name is Haizat Bulkaini, matrix number 262477. I'm from group 3. So I would like to present about industry background. So for the overview of industry, the food industry is a complex global network of diverse enterprises supplying most of the food consumed by the population of the world. The term food industry covers a number of industrial activities relating to the manufacture, distribution, processing, conversion, preservation, transport, certification and packaging of food. Today, the food industry has become highly diversified with the production ranging from tiny, traditionally highly labor-intensive family-run activities to large, capital-intensive and highly mechanized industrial processes. Many food industries rely almost entirely on local produce or fishing for agriculture. Malaysia is the Asia-Pacific region's third largest producer of poultry meat. Malaysia relies on poultry, pork and eggs for itself, but imports about 80% of its requirement for beef. The dairy products produced are milk powder, sweetened condensed milk, pasteurized or sterilized liquid milk, ice cream, yogurt and other fermented milk. Healthy foods produced in Malaysia are essentially in the form of food products that are enriched. The prospect for further growth include food ingredients such as customized formulation required by food manufacturers, natural food additive and flavors. Malaysia halal industry offer Malaysian manufacturer enormous opportunity with a global Islamic population of more than 2 billion. The halal food market is valued at over 500 billion US dollar a year. The concept of halal is associated with high quality food products such as cleanliness, sanitation and compliance with religious requirements. So next, main players in food industry 1.2. So the food industry is comprised of a multinational network of manufacturers, wholesalers, distribution and retailers serving to the world ever-growing food demand. Each food industry player has a particular role to play, including specific supply sources and specific customers to serve. Each player has specific effects on supply and demand across the industry as well. It can shed light on the supply chain and economic dynamics between the different players in the market to understand the similarities and differences between the world. There are five main players in food industry, which is first, producers, agriculture and fisheries. Second, manufacturers and processors. Third, wholesalers of food. Then, retailers, grocery stores. And the last is providers of food industry. So, for industry challenge, there are several issues and challenges of food industry, especially in Malaysia, such as the halal issue, halal logo, halal certificate, and lack of halal awareness for younger generation, and also issue on selling fake.
Hi, my name Mohammad Nasrul Nizam, main Farizul, matric number 272508. I would like to talk about section 2, inventory management practice. Inventory management strategy. Inventory management involves keeping track of your stock goods, making sure that the right products are in the right place at the right time and at the right cost. An effective inventory management system allows you to react quickly to market demand and ensure you don't have too much or too little stock, both highly undesirable scenario. Inventory management strategy makes your whole organization more efficient, but it's an ongoing challenge for most companies. Production inventory strategy. The goal of this food industry production and inventory plan is to understand how the future consumer climate will evolve and that to find viable business plan that will increase the possibility of effective management and sustainability in this evolving environment. Adjustment in the product line approach or in a supply chain partner business strategy or a quality improvement period that evaluate multiple options for improvement. The purpose of this approach is to control the selection of market winner and qualifier from the pool of applicable performance metrics such as efficiency, flexibility, supply chain indicator and cost. Okay, have two type. First, make to order and make to stock. Make to order provide variety of customer specific and usually more expensive. Performance indicator focus on order such as average response time and average order delay. For make to stock, provide variety of manufacturer specific and usually cheaper product. Performance indicator focus on product such as line item response time and average fill rates, average inventory order delay level. Collaboration program. Collaboration has been one of the RDT method for business that minimize environmental dependency. Sustainability partnership may serve to minimize dependency on supply chain member to meet strategic objectives. Collaboration as connection for mutual environment priorities between supply chain member that can be focused upstream or downstream or intended to be intra and or inter-organization. Although collaborative partnerships have been widely suggested as a source of competitive advantage, they may not be appropriate for every trading relationship. Inventory management control and policy. Inventory control dimension. Inventory location. Inventory location are the physical place where your inventory will exist. This may be placed on site, such as headquarters and warehouse, or it may be location of sites, such as the service distributor or the shipment of finished product. Inventory location are the facilities contain your product. They can be physical, such as warehouse or showroom. The final product could be stacked in your stage, in the factory, in the inventory held by the marketing company, in the distribution center of the wholesaler, and in the store. Sourcing policy. The sourcing policy is a process looking for available stock, thereby ensuring the consumer the fastest possible service. Sourcing policy is designed to engage suppliers and partners on exciting sustainability journey. Sourcing policy and model is designed. Three main concepts that implement supplier and allow item to implement. First, integrity. Second, transparency. And last, sustainability. For integrity, committed to maintaining the highest degree of corporate ethics in the procurement process by working with the vendor to support, implement, and expand industry standard across all supply chains. for transparency in order to ensure the traceability of our companies, ensure the highest quality level of our product and service, ensure a sustainable and responsible sourcing supply chain. Okay, last for sustainability, dedicated to embracing sustainability and transparency and consciously campaign towards injustice, gender discrimination, climate change, global destruction of ecosystem and abuse of human rights. Okay, for 5 responsible sourcing policy requirement. First, act with integrity, enforcement and ethics in industry. Second, respecting human rights, people health and safety. Third, respecting environment and biodiversity. Fourth, ensuring highest standard of product safety and quality. And fifth, ensuring business continuity.
Hi, hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Syafika Binti Makjasa. My metric number 271210. Today I will continue part section 2. Section 2 for information relay dimension for IT configuration. The integration has been shown the consolidation of the business activity can increase the efficiency and effectiveness of the activity which in the business but also in led to greater depends and the lower organization flexibility. Information integration has led to significant knowledge contribution but only realizing that two-part reliance is like learning the integration of the two internet organizational integration activity and not realizing the disadvantage and difficulties of the integration to enter the company organization. Recently, with the growing development for information, technology has become a priority for very popular operation in very industry, namely through the World Wide Web. It's a WWW, the concept of supply chain design. IT can reduce transaction financing between buyer and suppliers has established a more cooperative the relation and keep the relationship between supplier and the buyer closest. With the current improvement through the IT speed and efficiency, IT has given the company the ability to offer the customer by contacting the company regarding information regarding service problem and connecting customer through information sharing to bring greater benefit to both parties, namely customer and suppliers. The quality and quantity of information sharing led to have the level of complexity of the information in communicating with partner in the supply chain. Okay, IT has also opened cooperation towards a more proactive and effective approach to the company as internal relationship. Alright, I will continue. The part is 2.2.3 is decision making relate dimension. Decision making relate dimension have three points. First is replenishment, monitoring, and ordering. Second is control limited, and third replenishment and shipment decision. First is replenishment, monitoring, and ordering. Inventory replenishment, otherwise known as the stock replenishment, refers to the process of inventory moving from the reserve storage to primary storage to then into picking the location. It is important to note the inventory replenishment is something sometimes used to define batch ready to sell inventory as raw material received from the supplier. With the use of the modern technology allows computers to learn from the data even without rules-based programming, machine learning that allow the retailer to automate previous manual process and dramatically improve prediction and order accuracy. Retailers who use technology with machine learning for filling have seen an impact in variety of the ways. Out of stock not only cause the loss of the sale of goods but can also have the significant impact on customer loyalty and the trust in the company product brand, and the rate of the buyer demand to buy decrease. When stocks are too high, it can be a problem for business. For started, companies must beware that having this excess inventory can be cause barrier to new product launches, brand design, or in the case of food and beverage brand, is we push product beyond the early sales date and make them eligible for purchase. Alright, this is a control limit. For a key component effective in the inventory management is inventory control. By knowing what the supplies need to be available at the particular time, manager can be plan food order, calculate food costs, and science period preparation, and make changes to item if need. This can be prevent and any possible problem from happening to occur alone. Alright, we have two control limit food industry use. First is EOQ, which EOQ is order quantity that minimize the cost balance between inventory storage cost and restructuring costs. Inventory easy throughout the supply chain because mismatch in supplier and demand, as we has a perfect synchronization between them is almost impossible. The quantity of economy order allow an organization maintain a fixed inventory of products that have uniform and independent under demand. For the second control limit, the food industry use the ABC analysis. Alright, ABC analysis is classified into the three categories, namely stock A, B, and C. Stock A is item that high value and important to the organization, but the amount is low. Why? B is the stock of good of medium value and value is moderate. And C, item stock is with minimum value but very largest. Okay, inventory control that will take some time and very expensive effects. Not all item storage in inventory require more careful monitoring, and especially those items are low value items that will be used randomly in the production system. Alright, ABC analysis categories that this product is based on the important will be selected, where the breakpoint is selected for classes A, B, C, and so on. Alright. The last point is replenishment and shipment decision. Stock replenishment is not of the most important consideration in terms of inventory management, as it's a very helpful to ensure a more accurate stock is on the shelf at the right time. In addition, it ensures low inventory storage price and easy customer. The purpose of the stock replenishment is to ensure that inventory always flow through the supply chain at optimum rates by maintaining order rates and more efficient line item refills. Traditionally, mastering stock refill rates in the challenge because it means we track each stock manually while moving along the supply chain through a spreadsheet. Okay. Today, however, automatic stock replenishment is made possible by a smart inventory management system that monitor and update stock movement automatically without the need for manual inventation and employees' intervention. To overcome the problem of running out of stock, business can equip themselves with the software with the use mobile technology that allow them to collect stock data from their several retail locations. Sellers should be monitor plant compliance. Furthermore, sophisticated retail corporation vendor may consider using a radio frequency identification or RFID system to address issue. Traditionally, this type of the technology has been provided for making a pallet once the goods have reached the retailer location, as RFID application that can detect when the good will be delivered to the back compartment and when the move from the back space of the store flow and vice versa. This can help business not to run out from the stock and empty shelf space in the store. I think that's all for.
So now I will continue my part, which is section 3, conclusions and recommendations. First of all, I will tell about the pros and cons of inventory management practices in the food industry. The first pros is to be able to optimize food safety and decrease food health risk issues. In the current era, every processing from the food industry must be followed by the standard operating procedure (SOP) that has been set. If this matter is not taken in the food industry, then the inventory received by customer will be easily damaged and do not meet the standard of customer requirement, while inventory management for a food industry is unsatisfactory. The most important thing is that the safety of the food is controlled and it will reduce the health risk problem of the food to the customer. The second benefit is to get food items onto shelves earlier so that consumers still have the product available. If inventory management, especially in the food industry, use this technique, then customers will always be met with their needs and wants because the food is always available in the market. For example, Gardenia Company, which ensures that every shelf in the department stores, supermarkets and grocery stores is always full of a variety of its food products such as breads and jam, so as to meet the needs of its customers when needed and ensure their food products are always full and not expired. Then, among the cons is seasonal consumer demand. In the food industry, it is necessary to have accuracy in predicting the demand of each consumer so that the demand is equal to the supply so that there is no waste. As you know, the lifespan of a food product is too short and it must coincide with the seasonal demand from its customers. The most challenging ones are on inconsistent customer demand and inconsistent seasonal product availability. In addition, the next cause is the inefficient lifespan control also results. The variety of food products in the market now pose a big challenge for the food industry regarding the limited life of the food or its products, especially in inventory management to meet the needs of uncertain customers. Indeed, the lifespan of these food products needs to be adjusted to achieve optimal production and also demand. So now we will proceed with the recommendations part. Among the recommendations put forward for this food industry is lean inventory management for food manufacturers in the food industry. Lean inventory management is a lean approach where it is generally about the increasing value or customer demand while reducing waste. Food processing organizations that practice lean inventory management will produce very high customer value with minimal waste. However, lean manufacturing is usually divided into 4 main principles, namely pull, one-piece flow, pause, and zero defects. The second suggestion is that every food industry needs to upgrade their technology and innovation according to the latest time. Uniformity in the use of technology, especially in terms of training to employees on the use of such technology, can increase the effectiveness in food production, especially for short product life. Next, traceability methods can be implemented as a strategic tools to improve inventory management in this food industry. Traceability is defined by the American Production and Inventory Control Society (APICS) as registration and tracking in product distribution management, product processing, as well as materials used during production based on different lots or serious numbers, and is now a prerequisite in the food industry. The purpose is to show that all the food produced can be traced from the supply into the consumers. Besides, the food industry can also use ABC analysis, which is a Pareto principle where to evaluate different product types from each food processing company into levels A, B, and C. Therefore, the product at level A must be 5% to 50% of the total product, while 70% to 80% of the total revenue. For products at level B, must be 30% of the total product and 50% of the total share is brought back to the company. At level C refers to a large number of products, 50% to 60%, but only gives 5% to 10% of the company revenue. Thus, this ABC analysis can help in determining the level of control, device configuration, order quantity, method inspection, order method, statistical method, and reserve insurance for each type of food product produced in the food industry. Now, conclusions part. To conclude, nowadays it can be seen that many food manufacturing companies are major contributors to this food industry. Therefore, inventory management of the food industry needs to be emphasized so that there is effectiveness in food processing from producers into end users. Next, deficiency in inventory management also affects every movement of food products from their production to warehouses and the use of effective techniques until the goods reach the customer on time without any problem arising.